Hi, so recently I gave you the 5 steps to take now that you've had your planning meeting, and I want to go through and give you more details on each of those steps. So I'm going to start with step 1, and step 1 was that once you've had your planning meeting, it's a good idea to let your existing service provider know that you've had your planning meeting. Why? So you can start to talk to them about the arrangements moving forward. Once you've had your planning meeting, it usually takes about 7 to 10 days for that planning meeting to turn into an approved plan. And once you have an approved plan, you'll be given an approved plan date. Well, your funding under NDIS starts on the date of that approved plan date. And on that approved plan date, your existing services that you receive end. Arrangements and contracts to provide you with services under the existing contracts ceases on your approved plan date. So if you want to continue receiving services from your existing service provider, it's a good idea to start talking to them about that from the time that you've had your planning meeting. You want to be able to do that so you can make arrangements to continue having services that are uninterrupted and fairly seamless from the date that your existing funding ends and your new funding begins. And if you no longer want to receive support from them under your NDIS plan, you need to let them know that as well, so that the right arrangements can be made to end your service provision and to avoid any unnecessary billing. It's also worthwhile to start thinking about, well, with my existing service support arrangements, what are the things that I want to keep doing and keep having support with my existing service provider? What are the things that I'd like to stop doing? What are the supports that I don't want to continue having under my approved plan with my existing service provider? And what are the things that I would like to start doing that I maybe not be doing at the moment under my approved plan with my existing service provider? They're all really good things to think about when you have that conversation with your service provider about, hey, we've just had our planning meeting, would really like to talk to you about what happens from here with the services that we are currently receiving. Most people have really good relationships with the service providers that currently support them, and you want to make sure you nurture that relationship. And by being open and transparent and talking to them about that fact that you've had your planning meeting really goes a long way towards making sure that everybody knows what's going on and that the right arrangements can be put in place to make your transition from having funded service supports under disability services to working under your approved plan with NDIS. That works for both of you. So that's a little bit more detail about step 1. I'll talk to you again very soon about step 2.